Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Wednesday, May 25th, 2016, around 6:30 in the morning, Billerica, Massachusetts. It's cloudy out right now, but when the clouds break for the sun, we are going to shoot up to the 80s and 90s. Low humidity. And the next several days will be summer-like weather. Sunday and Monday will be back seasonable levels, which will be 68 to 72. Some news to report. The Boston Red Sox beat the Colorado Rockies by a score of 8-3 last night in the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs Eastern Conference Finals. Game 6, Pittsburgh Penguins beat Tampa Bay Lightning by a score of 5-2 to force a Game 7 back in Pittsburgh. And in the NBA playoffs, the Western Conference Finals, Game 4, the Oklahoma City Thunder beat the Golden State Warriors by the score of 118-94. The Thunder are one win away from clinching a spot in the NBA Finals. And Game 5 tonight of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Toronto Raptors. I wonder if ABC's getting worried of a possibility of a Thunder Raptors Finals. And it's Happy National Tap Dancing Day. Happy National Towel Day. The late great Arnold Scotland would love that day because he could throw in towels. And it's Happy National Iced Coffee Day. I bet a lot of Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts are happy today. And I bet like one of my ex-coworkers at Iron Mountain, Teddy V, will have to get iced coffee for his wife Heidi. That's about it on the news. My first video blog subject of the day is about starrcade 1993, the 11th annual WCW Supercard pay-per-view. This one happened in Charlotte, North Carolina, in the Independence Arena. The main event was for the WCW World Title. It was Vader defending the WCW World Title against Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. If Ric Flair could not defeat Vader, he would retire from professional wrestling. And there was one dark match, which was shown before the pay-per-view. It was Terry Taylor defeating the Equalizer with the 5-arm. The Equalizer eventually became Dave Sullivan, who was a big Hulkamaniac, and he was the kayfabe brother of Kevin Sullivan. And also Dave Sullivan had a crush on Kimberly, and he brought a pet rabbit, Ralph. And this is what happened on the pay-per-view of starrcade 1993. It was called by Tony Schiavone and the Body, Jesse Ventura. The first match was a tag team match. It was Pretty Wonderful, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, and Pretty Paul Roma with the Masked Assassin teaming up together to face off against Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Two Cold Scorpio with Teddy Long. Before the match, Teddy Long was awarded the 1993 WCW Manager of the Year by a fan vote on the WCW hotline. That probably was fixed. And this was a competitive match. Ending had the referee being distracted by Bagwell and Roma. They're fighting. The assassin comes in. He loads his mask and headsbutts Two Cold Scorpio, and Mr. Wonderful pins him 1, 2, 3. Next match was the Shockmaster, who was Fred Ottman as Klutz, facing off against King Khan, part of the Awesome Khans. This was tag team over 1,000 pounds. They wore masks and they had beards, and this was like a quick match. Like Awesome Khan tried to interfere, but the Shockmaster pinned him, gave him this sit down slam. Was only about 2 minutes. Awful match. The next match was for the WCW Television Championship. It was Ricky the Dragon Steamboat facing off against Lord Steven Regal, who was the TV champion, with Sir William. Sir William was Bill Dundee, and this was a 15-minute match, time limit draw. Well, it actually only went about 13 minutes in actual time. They kayfabe these time limit draws, and Steamboat had Regal in the inside cradle, but the time limit expired, so the match was declared a draw. Lord Steven Regal retains the title because you can't lose titles on draws. The next match was a tag team match. It was Cactus Jack Bang Bang and Max Payne facing off against Tex Slasher and Shanghai Pierce, who eventually would become the Godwins in the WWE. Henry O. Godwin and Phineas I. Godwin, but they were from Texas in WCW, and this was a decent match, but they would call it the bathroom break, and the ending had Cactus Jack pin Tex Slasher with a double arm DDT. The next match was a 2 out of 3 fall match for the United States Championship. It was the Natural Dustin Rhodes, WCW United States Champion, facing off against Stunning Steve Austin with Colonel Rob Parker. And this was a great first fall, back and forth, ending for the first fall had Dustin Rhodes accidentally throw Steve Austin over the top rope, causing the automatic disqualification, because in WCW, if a wrestler gets thrown over the top rope, if it's not a battle royal, and if the referee sees it, it's an automatic disqualification. So Austin's up 1-0. At the beginning of the second fall, some of the lights went out at the arena, and Colonel Rob Parker tried to interfere, and Dustin was holding him on bay, but Stunning Steve Austin rolls him up with a handful of tights. For the 1, 2, 3, Stunning Steve Austin wins this 2-0, and he's the new United States Champion. That was a great match. The next match was for the International WCW Championship, or the Big Gold Belt, which at one time was the NWA World Title. It was Ravishing Rick Rude, the defending WCW International Champion, facing off against the Boss, who was Ray Traylor and the Big Boss Man, substituting for the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith, who was originally going to wrestle Ravishing Rick Rude, but weeks before, Davey Boy Smith walked out on WCW due to a pay dispute over one of the pay-per-views. And this was an okay match. Ending had Rick Rude give the sunset flip to the Boss for the 1, 2, 3. The next match was for the WCW World Tag Team Championship. It was the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags, reigning WCW World Tag Team Champions, with Missy Hyatt, the First Lady of Wrestling, and she was known as the nastiest woman in wrestling. And they were defending the titles against Sting and Road Warrior Hawk. Ooh, what a rush. And this was close to a 30-minute match. It was for an hour. It was a long match, in my humble opinion. Ending had Missy Hyatt interfere on Sting, and causing the automatic disqualification, and Nasty Boys lose the match, but not the titles, because titles cannot change hands on DQs. And the main event for the WCW World Championship, it was Vader, the WCW World Champion, with the 7-time NWA World Champion Harley Race in his corner, facing off against the Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! And this was one of Ric Flair's best matches of all time. Back and forth. Vader was a great worker, despite being over 400 pounds. And Ric Flair put his career on the line, and was awesome. And Vader had some near falls. Ric Flair had some near falls. Ric Flair puts on the figure 4 leg lock. Harley Race goes up to the top rope and tries to deliver his headbutt, but he hits Vader instead. The referee, throws like Grace out, and the ending had Ric Flair roll up. Vader for the 1, 2, 3. Ric Flair becomes WCW World Champion, and it's the 11th world title that Ric Flair won. And that was it on the Starrcade 1993 pay-per-view. This pay-per-view for Starrcade 93 was basically a one-match show. Flair and Vader's match probably it goes down as one of Ric Flair's best matches of all time, and probably one of the best WCW matches in the early 1990s. But the rest of the Starrcade card was kind of mediocre to poor at best. I give it a C-. There was a couple. The only other match that was decent was this 2 out of 3 fall match. The rest of the card was, kind of filler or, pointless. And tomorrow's review of Starrcade will be Starrcade 1994 from Nashville, Tennessee. The main event is for the WCW World Championship. Hulk Hogan facing off against his former best friend in the world, the Butcher. Can't wait to review that. Don't forget Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. Beginning Wednesday, June 1st, and every Wednesday and Friday in June, it's viewers' choice video blogs, meaning that you could send me private messages and what subject you want me to talk about. I will talk about it on the video blog. So private message me. Other video blogs coming today is the history of the Billerica Public Library, and the last video blog will be about where the big boys play, the WCW NWA Super Kart Podcast. Tell you about that. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Butter guy. Molly Roseblood of WCCO rocks and has nice legs. Elizabeth Hart so stunning, and she's the best. Amy Swansea so awesome. Linda Church of WPIX 11 is such a cougar. She's got nice legs as well. Michelle Beadle is awesome. And Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet southern accent. And in the words of Tony Schiavone, former WCW announcer, this is the greatest night in the history of our sport. Goodbye, everybody. See you later.